Hi. So we are here to introduce our new DA converter C10.
Right.
So let's talk about the C10.
The C10, absolutely. So the C10 has been shown for the first time in Munich. It was in a pre-production stage. Right now it's the real production, so we start shipping the final product. The C10 is the DA converter, which belongs to the 10 series. Maybe some of you don't know, but at CH Precision we have two series. The 1 series, which is the base one, and we have the 10 series, which we started this 10 series for the 10th anniversary. That was long ago. Now CH Precision is 15 years old. But we introduced the C10 today, and like all the 10 series products, it has two cabinets. One is dedicated for the power supply. It's this one. Whoops. And one is the audio unit on top.
Let me transfer a little.
You translate? Okay.
咁啊，今次為大家介紹嘅咧就係 CH Precision 最新嘅旗艦解碼 C10。咁 C10係我哋 CH Precision 裏邊嘅旗艦系列。咁另外有一系列啦。咁 C10喺剛剛嘅5月喺慕尼黑先至發布嘅啫，而今次係第一次喺國內係示範同埋係介紹嘅。咁啊嚟緊Florian 亦都會講多啲關於 C10裏邊嘅技術係用喺邊方面啦。咁另外佢最特別嘅地方，佢今次同一系列嘅唔同地方就係佢係分開個電源同埋個主機係兩部嘅設計。
Yeah, so maybe some of you are going to say to me, well, in the 1 series, you have an external power supply, so you just add or make it part of the C10 design, the regular external power supply. But no, the power supply in the 10 series is way better.
咁咧，其實喺一系列 C1.2 咧，其實你都可以加一個外置嘅電源 X1 嘅。咁好多有啲客人會問啦，咁有咩分別咧？你10系列都係兩個機箱，而一系列你亦都可以加一個 X1。咁但係個技術裏邊用到嘅就已經係好唔同嘅。
Yeah, so I'm not going into technical details when it comes to power supplies, but it has better noise rejection and it is fully galvanic isolated for all rates.
咁關於個電源嘅部分咧，技術上就唔講太多，因為咧佢最主要係因為呢10幾年累積落嚟嗰個改進嘅技術都擺晒裏邊嘅啦。咁大方向都係話點樣降低個底噪，即係背景嗰個噪音，呢個係個重點。
Yeah, so now the audio unit itself, basically it has the same input boards, so the same option of streaming or using a digital drive, the same CH-Link input than the C1.2. It has almost the same processing power than the C1.2.
咁咧主機方面咧，咁其實佢嗰輸入卡咧，其實同 C1.2 基本上個結構係一樣嘅。咁佢有 CH-Link 啊嗰啲都齊晒㗎啦，即係輸入有 AES 啊，其他都齊晒。咁處理嘅能力咧係會高咗嘅，但係最重點嘅一個技術咧，嚟緊Florian就會講一講。
So one of the biggest difference is into the DSP, what we do in terms of signal processing. Some of you may know that we are not using regular filtering for interpolation, but spline filter.
咁關於呢個重點嘅技術就係喺嗰個數碼嘅信號嘅處理上邊，因為我哋用嘅係我哋自家研發嘅一種數碼處理嘅算式。咁呢個有咩特別咧
？Yeah, so basically when you think of sampling, what comes in as thin slices of the music, we have to recreate what's in between and do the conversion. And thanks to the spline process, in reality, we can cut as thin as we want. It's an algorithm, so it's a polynomial, how do we say that? A polynomial equation between the samples, and we can extract as much as we want.
係咁喺數碼嘅信號處理上邊咧，一般 其實大家用嗰種方式都係喺兩個點之間去睇下點樣做到最密度最高，去還原翻個信號。咁 CH 喺呢邊咧就有自己嗰個運算嘅程式，就係同其他廠係完全唔同嘅。亦都今次 C10 裏邊咧會係擺咗一個最密度最高嘅一個算式喺裏邊。
Yeah, so this spline process or spline filter has already been applied in the C1.2. So it's not something new. In the C1.2, what we do if we are listening to a CD, which is the base frequency of 44 kilohertz, we do 16 time upsampling. So we extract 15 samples for each base sample we receive. So the sum, 15 plus 1 is 60.
其實本身 C1.2 都有用開呢個技術，只係今次咧就 C10 裏邊咧嗰個層次就係唔同。咁一般輸入都係44.1，咁中間我哋點樣去攞嗰個信號而更加增加嗰個密度咧，就嚟緊會講一講。
Yeah. In the C10, on the other hand, we are going faster. So we go 64 times the base frequency. And that's 4 times more information than the C1.2.
係啦，咁同 C1.2 比較 ，C1.2 係16倍個取樣，咁 C10 已經係去到64，即係4倍嘅速度。
And 64 times base frequency, it means DSD speed.
咁64倍其實就去到 DSD 嗰個速度㗎啦，已經係。
So if you compare what we have in terms of resolution compared to DSD, we are going at the same speed, but we have 24 bits of resolution for each sample instead of 1 bit, just 0 and 1 for the DSD.
咁其實如果 DSD 本身 SACD 嗰個模式咧就64倍，但係佢係1 bit 嘅。但係我哋依家個算式係去到個速度係64倍之餘咧係24 bit。咁出嚟嗰個密度其實係高好多好多。
Yeah, so if you think of this, we have basically a ton of information. The information density is huge, but it is still in the digital domain.
咁其實嗰個信息量去到24 bit 64倍咧係好大好大㗎啦。咁但係點樣令到呢個咁大嘅信息轉換翻去一個模擬嘅信號咧？
Yeah, so now how do we translate it to the analog domain? Via the DA converters. And we are using the same converters than in the C1.2. The only difference is that we have 8 chips per channel instead of 4.
咁同 C1.2 有咩唔同咧？就每個聲道以前 C1.2 係用4粒解碼嘅晶片去做嘅，但係 C10 咧就每個聲道係依家係8粒嘅。
Yeah, and we have used in the C10 what is named a phase shift array of DA converters, which means that you have the 8 converters and we are feeding them shifted over time and then back to the first one.
咁最大嘅分別同 C1.2 咧就係點樣用呢8粒晶片去解更高密度嘅信號出嚟咧？就係我哋有一個技術叫做相位陣列嘅一個嘅線路個安排，咁就係將個信號咧就同一路咁樣分件咁樣去俾每粒解碼嘅晶片，咁就由第一粒去到第8粒，跟住又上翻去第一粒咁樣去做嘅。咁呢個相位陣列其實我所知道係行裏邊係我哋自己先有嘅，即係 CH Precision 獨家有嘅呢個技術。
Yeah, so thanks to this trick that we have done, we can use DA converters which do not support 64 times FS but 24 bit, because we don't know any converter which supports this, but we basically give the information to each DAC at a time, and this gives a virtual resolution of DSD with 24 bit of resolution.
因為市面上其實係冇晶片係可以做到64倍24 bit 呢個速度嘅。咁我哋諗，即係佢哋工程師諗到呢個方法就係點樣先做到咁高嘅速度咧？就係將佢分件咁樣去處理，然後用呢8粒晶片去解翻出嚟，先至可以做到咁高密度、咁高速度嘅一個動作。
Yeah, and now we are in the analog domain, so we do afterwards, like we do in the C1.2, an IV filter, IV converter, low pass filter, and output stage.
咁同樣地，經過呢8粒晶片之後解完出嚟嘅信號咧，其實 C1.2 一樣都會有一個由電流轉換成為一個電壓嘅一個過程。咁不過今次用嘅會係唔同嘅一個線路。
Yeah, so the structure of these stages is relatively similar to the C1.2, except that we are using the component of the 10 series, which are better in terms of quality, noise floor, and so on.
咁唔同之處同 C1.2 就係今次裏邊嗰個線路同個零件用嘅精確度咧，係10系列嘅，好似 P10 或者 L10同一個級數嘅元件，因為係精準好多嘅。
So that's basically the structure of the C10.
OK， 咁呢個大概就係成個 C10 嘅基礎。咁其實大家都如果有時間可以睇一睇，就係佢個電源出嚟咧，佢本身個結構咧裏邊已經係完全左右聲道獨立嘅。咁可以大家見到係由個電源出嚟咧，佢有4條供電嘅線咧，去嗰個主機度，分別2條係左邊，2條係右邊，只不過係同一個電源出嚟，但係佢亦都有另外一個升級嘅途徑，就係變咗 C10 嘅單聲道嘅版本。咁所需要嘅其實係多一個嘅電源，模一樣嘅電源，但係將左右嗰個供電就完全隔開，咁變咗左右嗰個干擾咧係減到0嘅啦。所以因為呢個大家可能會覺得會唔會多咗啲咧做得，但係其實你喺實際聆聽上嘅比較咧係會聽得到。So we
You're
can
talking
talk
about
the
galvanic, yeah.
The mono
Yeah.
version.
Yeah, so another difference I forgot into the C10 is the galvanic isolation between the channels. So left and right channels do not have a common ground. They are galvanically isolated.
係因為佢裏邊嘅結構咧，主機嗰部分咧，左右聲道係連個音頻上邊個底都係分隔開嘅，係完全唔通嘅，所以佢就係真正嘅一個左右獨立，但係擺咗喺同一個機箱咁解嘅啫。所以點解 mono 版本嘅時候就唔同 C1.2 以前咧，要將佢左同右嗰個解碼係拆開2部機咁解，就反而調翻轉咧，係個電源就一定要拆開，咁變咗完全冇干擾咯，左右。
Yeah, so in the C1.2 there was 2 different grounds. One was for the digital processing, and the other one for the analog domain. And inside the C10 you have 4 different grounds, all galvanically isolated. So you have left, right audio channels, you have processing, and you have clock.
C1.2 本身裏邊咧就已經將數碼個接地同模擬嘅接地係分開，但係 C10 咧係更加犀利，佢有將時鐘個地、數碼嘅地、左同右聲道嘅地都完全分開晒。
So this left and right audio ground separation allows us to use either one power supply, like we are doing now, and the grounds are connected into the power supply. Otherwise, you can use 2 power supplies, and then you have a real monaural design, even though if it is in 3 box.
亦都係因為呢個設計咧，或者將個地咁樣分得咁細緻咧，咁就可以加多一個電源嘅時候，係做到完全係一個左右獨立嘅一個解碼嘅結構嚟用。
The idea behind this 3-box design was in fact the clock. The clock matters a lot in a DA converter, and having it into one box close to the DA converters and in its own domain of ground makes that the phase noise or the jitter, if you integrate over frequency, can be kept really, really low.
其實當中點解佢哋會有呢個概念，要將嗰個時鐘個底都分開，或者有咁嘅設計話將左右嘅聲道擺喺同一個盒，而想做到左右獨立，係因為嗰個時鐘對整個 解碼個過程個影響好大。咁佢當中嗰個中間數碼處理板個時鐘嗰個位置咧，就啱啱喺正左右正中，所以佢兩邊嘅距離咧係一模一樣嘅。因為時鐘個速度，你依份少少即係距離個差別咧，都會有影響。所以呢個係好重要嘅一點。
So yes, that can seem a bit weird to have 3-box and full monorail design, but there is a technical reason behind it.
咁可能大家會覺得奇怪，點解 mono 版本唔係將左嘅解碼同右嘅版本拆開，而係反而將個電源係拆開咧？就呢個係其中一個好重要嘅因素，就係個時鐘嗰個距離係一個好重要嘅因素。OK，so 咁不如講咗咁多技術嘅嘢，咁大家聽一聽嗰個效果究竟係咁嘅，有咁嘅上位陣列嗰個技術之後出嚟嘅效果點？We will play a track for
Yes,
what we explain.